There's like a million things running through my mind right now. Like straight up a million things. Like I'm getting home, not right now, but I'll be home within the next 5 days. There's a lot that I've taken care of, but there's still so much more to do. And it's like, did I get this? Did I take care of that? Do I have this? Do I have that? I have the major stuff, but it's also me going back home means the people I'm taking care of, one is in the facility, the other one is at home, and we'll have home care and everything like that. And, I'll talk on the phone with them every day, and, I can order stuff online, bring them into the new technological age and help them with everything they need. Literally don't got to worry about anything. I'll have all their needs met. But it's also just like not being there, it's terrifying. Straight up, as a grown man, it's terrifying for me not being in close proximity to take care of them when I knew they were right before. But I've been praying nonstop. So many people have been praying. I've been praying nonstop, and I love the way God works in different things where I'm trying to worry about stuff, right? Like, how am I going to get groceries to the place because they'll deliver, but I don't want them coming to the house. Things of that nature, right? Simple stuff. I'll have food and everything like that. It's not like they're not going to have food. But, like, I'm driving now to go see my family member in the facility. I go see them every day, help them out, talk with them and everything. I try to jog the mind and everything, make them, make their mind work and all that. But as I'm walking out of the house, I see the neighbors, and the neighbors are really cool. Neighbors, straight up godsend. They're the reason why my family member's still alive, because they called the ambulance, But I saw them, and they're going to give me a ride to the airport. They told me a while ago they're going to give me a ride to the airport. And I'm like, I appreciate that. They're going to be the emergency physical contact, right? Because I'm going to be all the way in Florida. But they're going to be the emergency physical contact. So in case I need somebody there physically, they'll be there, literally right next door. And then today, I'm telling them about, like, groceries. I have to do this and all that stuff. And maybe the home care could pick this up and all that. Like, and just right off the bat, they're just like, hey, we'll take care of that for you. Like, it's not a problem. Like, it's not a problem to go pick up the groceries. I'm like, what? Like, I can't ask you to do that. Like, you've already done so much. And they're both of them, it's a husband and wife. They're like, no, it's no problem. Like, we can go pick that up for you, no problem, And I asked if they shop at this grocery store. They're like, yeah, So I'm like, I can order it. Literally, they'll prepare it, and, you could just go pick it up. They were like, or if they want to just jot down a list, we could go pick it up too. And then it's also like, if you want to get it delivered, just have it delivered to our house and we'll bring it over. And I'm just like, whoa, dude, like that's God, man. That's God's people right there, right? Like, I'm praying for answers on stuff. I'm praying for guidance and visions, and right, like even in the Bible, in Mark, like Jesus was talking to the Pharisees or whatever, and they were like, yo, we want a sign and all that. And Jesus is like, you ain't getting a sign. So you got to believe, you ain't getting a sign, right? And it's like, there's a part of me that is, I need signs, right? I'm always like telling God, like, if I'm asking him for something, I'm like, I need a sign to make it obvious. And he absolutely does. Absolutely does. But it's like, who am I to ask for signs? Right? Like, Jesus legit said, you ain't getting no signs to these people. So, like, I got to take that from me too. But, like, bro, he's like doing stuff like that with the neighbor saying, I want to help you out. It's like, that's a sign. Like, I've asked for stuff, on help and everything, and like, he's giving me that. That's like, it doesn't get any more signish than that. Like, I don't know. I was in a bad headspace for a bit. Just because my family member, not the one that's in facility, the other one, kind of like had a breakdown and was like, telling me that they're scared because they've never been in this position before. They've always been the breadwinner, the caretaker, the this, the that, the leader, and they've come to reality on their inability to care for inability to basically take care of themselves, let alone try to care for anybody else. you know, got to remind them to eat, got to remind them to do this, to do that, and all that. And like, they were confiding today and telling me, like they're scared. And it made me emotional. And I'm like, just being, reassuring, like, you don't got to worry about anything. Like, we got this figured out. We got all this stuff figured out. You just got to get stronger, right? That's your job. Like, pray, eat, and exercise. That's the three things I tell my family member in the facility and my family member here. Pray, eat, and exercise. Literally, those three things is all you need. Everything else is taken care of. I'm handling everything else. And it's not like it's a burden on me. Like, literally doing this on the computer. I'm on my computer all the time. Like, I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I'm editing the computer. Even being over here, like I brought my laptop with me, and I'm editing these videos that you're watching, and I'm editing like video game videos on my other channel, like the Attack Cancel channel, and like I did a whole project on Mortal Kombat, and it's like I got this stuff done. So it's like it's easy for me to do all this stuff on the computer. They worry that it's a burden. I'm like, it's not a burden. It's a couple clicks. I figured this out. And I'm saying for me, it's not a burden. Like, I can handle this. I just worry about having a physical presence there, which they'll have, the home care, right? And then when the other family gets out of the hospital, they'll go back home to the home and everything like that. But it's just like, I'm capable of doing stuff. So it's not a problem to go do that. And like, if somebody else is having to do that, I feel like it's an inconvenience. That's just the way my mind works. I don't like to rely on anybody else for things. I like to just earn what I get, do it myself, not have to call in favors. And I've always been that way, and that's worked against me tremendously in life. I'll be honest. Not calling in favors has worked against me tremendously in life. You should be calling in favors whenever you can. People are happy to help. You don't abuse it, but people are happy to help. I realize that the few times that I have called in favors. I need to be more aware of that. Especially when people are offering to help, right? Instead of being, no, I got it. Like, don't. But yeah, man, bad headspace, and then got to a good headspace when I talked to the neighbors. And now I'm driving through these beautiful mountains. And I'll get there and then see how they're doing, take care of them, do what I can. I'm just literally taking life one day at a time, one step at a time, especially for them. Like, literally doing one step at a time, relearning to do stuff and remember stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. Alright, I'm at that spot again, but look at the sun rays. I'm talking about the spot with the mountain. You can see the mountain. Look at the sun rays, yo. How beautiful does that look? It's kind of wild, man. This place is very, very scenic. And I'm not talking about the KFC. I'm talking about the mountain and the sun rays and the clouds. This is a beautiful, beautiful view. Enjoy that. All right, so stopped at a diner over here called Mary's Diner off of some highway. I don't know what highway it is, but got two BLTs because I'm crazy hungry. One with fries, one with chips, two pickles. Rough situation today. Was talking to the family member. I was going over different things with them about like the recovery stuff. Like the speech therapy person came in, was talking, and they were like giving me a paper, and I was like, oh, just ask these questions, and like simple questions like what could happen if you step on a floor that has a wet spot on it? And like I'm asking a family member, and they're like, I don't know, maybe like the middle, like just the answers weren't there, And like other things where they were like, why is it important to have guardrails on the side of the bed? What could that help with? And they just couldn't answer that question. Or like, there was one question they answered right where it was like, there's like 20 questions I asked, maybe like 40 questions, but they only like got like 2 of them out of like the 40. Whereas like one was like, when you're going down the stairs, why is it important to hold a handrail? They were like, oh, so support yourself so you don't fall. So there was some signs there, some good stuff. But the other stuff is like basic stuff that you and I would know how to handle. Like, why do you want to enter a room that's dark? Why do you tack down the edges of a carpet? You know, we know not to trip. You know, we don't bump into things. But they couldn't answer that, so it's just like walked out of that visit in a not great mindset. So I'm kind of shaking my leg right now. It's like anxious. Came here to eat, and maybe I don't know. Maybe the food will help me feel better for whatever reason. But yeah, this is a day. Not every day is a good day. Not every day is a bad day. But today's a day, boy. Today's a day.
Everything good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We tried the curly fries too.
No, it's first time here.
Is it?
Yeah.
You enjoyed everything?
It was good. Very good.
Our curly fries are fresh cut too.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Nice.
Same with the straight cut. The curly fries are a little bit thinner, a little smaller.
Okay.
I like them. I like both of them actually. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too. Be safe. Huh?
All right. Thank you. I'm good, thank you. Appreciate it. No, I'm good, thank you. Take care. Oh, really nice. Super duper nice. It's called, oh, that's a St. Patrick's Day sign. But this place is called Mary's. Again, I don't know what highway I'm on or whatever off highway I am, 220. But it's Mary's Diner. It's actually really good. Check it out if you in Virginia. Virginia. We stopped named up. All right. Oh, okay. Sitting. Oh, the car is so warm. It is so warms. It is very warms. Oh, don't want the YouTube to shut down the video because of the music. Right? I don't want the music. Sorry, I'm trying to take stuff off the camera right now. Oh wow, I'm like still 40 minutes away.
Head northeast toward US 220 South, then turn right onto US 220 South.
I made very little traction. I mean, I knew I was close. I mean, yeah, I knew I was close to where the facility where my family member's at. I keep on saying my family member because I don't want anybody all up in the business about who's where and what. You know, I've shared very specific information intentionally and left out a lot intentionally. So there's that. That's why I say certain things and say it a certain way that I say it. Yo, I am craving coffee. I've been craving coffee like crazy. I haven't had coffee since February 8th. Solely because I drink a lot of coffee. Like I drink a lot of coffee where literally I'm trying to like, you know, maybe one day open up a shop. That's how much coffee I drink. Like I drink a lot, right? But I make it crazy strong and I drink it all the time and I become used to a crazy high amount of caffeine. And then after a while, like I said, it just makes me feel off, gives me the shakes, like to the point that I would drink it and I would just feel bad. And I'm like, all right, this is clearly a drug issue. Like caffeine is a legal drug. It is a legal drug. I've always told friends that used to, you know, run the streets with me and all that stuff. I always say, like, you know, a lot of them stood in the streets working, you know what I mean? And I would always tell them, bro, get into coffee because it's the same thing as slinging coke, but it's just legal for the caffeine. Like if I open up a shop, if somebody, I wouldn't not hire a convict or ex-convict or whatever, especially if they were convicted of selling drugs in the street, because they would be the best type of employee. As crazy as that sounds, but legit. Anyway, I stopped drinking coffee February 8th because I was feeling off, and I was like, I'm gonna take some time off. I was planning on going till February 8th. Planning on going to April 8th. I stopped February 8th. I wanted to go April 8th to stop for 2 months. But what I did, not what I did. I've been drinking tea in the interim, right? A lot of black tea because it has caffeine. I can't quit cold turkey because like I've tried that before and it's really rough. Um, so I'm drinking a lot of black tea. I guess I threw out the bottle. And I think before I go back, like again, I wanted to start drinking coffee again April 8th, and that would give me a full 2 months. But the other family member that I'm taking care of, not the one that's in the facility, the other one, they drink coffee every morning. And I realized as I was driving, well, yo, the sky looks beautiful. Look at this. Look at that sky. Look how beautiful that sky looks. It's like it could just open up at any point, yo. That's like God's hands, like ripping those clouds apart. That'd be crazy, right? Yeah, anyway. So the family member drinks coffee every morning, and I was thinking, I should drink coffee with them before I go back to Florida, right? So I think not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. So today's Monday. So Wednesday the 2nd. Today's Monday the 31st. Tuesday the 1st. Wednesday the 2nd. I'm gonna make coffee and have coffee with the family member and just rock out with that. And we'll have it Wednesday and Thursday. And Thursday I go back to Florida. So maybe we'll do coffee Wednesday and Thursday. And I'll just be like 5 days shy of 2 months. It's still longer than I usually do. Usually I do, I take a break from coffee 1 month, like for at least a month. At least I try to do something twice a year, right? I usually like stop drinking, like alcohol, like beer and stuff. 'Cause I like beer. I'll do that twice a year. So I'll do it like usually around like June, July, and then November, December. So roughly every 6 months or whatever it is. And then I've done coffee before, and I think I do that once a year, sometimes twice a year. The longest I ever gone without coffee, I want to say it's 4, maybe 6 months. I think 4 months. I'm going to say 4 months. I'm not going to give myself the extra. I'm going to say 4 months. It's the longest I've gone without coffee. But it's good to take a break from that stuff after a while, you know? Coffee and alcohol, legit. But that's where I'm at, boy. So coffee in 2 days. Peace! Yo, look how ominous that cloud looks. I mean, it just looks like it's a massive rainstorm just straight ahead. Like I think they call it Parja. Where you can see the rain. It looks like you can see the rain, but it's like concentrated just right in the middle. It's kind of crazy. Like on the sides, you can't really, it's empty on the sides. It's like clean, like there's no clouds on the side. But it's just like you see that dark cloud up there, and then right behind it, it's just like, it's like a wall. Like I'm reaching the end of a map on a video game. It's crazy, man. Look at this rain. Can't see anything, yo. This is crazy. Like it's so hard to see right now. I'm driving my hazards on. I ain't taking any chances. Alright, it's been a few days since I last filmed anything, recorded anything. A lot of downward trends, a lot of good upward and downward. Like I was thinking about before, the hills and valleys, boy, it's legit a real thing. And it's weird because like yesterday, right? We had such a good day, meaning me and the family member, one of my family members. Such an incredibly good day. And then at the end of the day, it just took a downward trend with the family member that's in the facility. So I've just been trying to navigate that. And like I haven't filmed for the past few days just because like literally handling everything that I have to handle for 2 people that I wasn't prepared for. Like I look like a mess, bro. Like my hair, my beard, everything. I look like a mess. I've been wearing the same sets of clothes. I have like 7 shirts and 4 pants and no, 8 shirts and 4 pants and 8 pairs of underwear. Like I packed for 7 days, but whenever I pack for 7 days, I take an extra day of clothing. You know, like 8 pairs of socks. And I've literally been living off of that stuff for the last 6 weeks, almost 6 weeks. It's been rough dealing with it. Having to wash clothes like every 3 or 4 days or whatever I'm doing. And there's a car coming, so I'm slowly stopping talking. It's annoying to deal with all this stuff that I'm dealing with. And then like the HR guy from my job called. He was like, hey, aren't you supposed to be back? Like, I know you said like the first week. I was like, bro, didn't I tell you? I remember telling you. And he's like, oh, I just want to check. I was like, well, I know I told him because I videotaped the phone call. Like I recorded the phone call just in case, because I don't trust jobs, as weird as that sounds. It's not weird. You shouldn't trust your job unless you own the job, unless you own the business. But yeah, I didn't trust it. So I recorded it. But I remember telling him that. And then I was like, oh, I also told my boss's boss that when I was going to be back and everything. But he was like, all right, cool. So I'm back. Today's Wednesday. I'll be back on the Friday to see how this whole thing goes. And yeah, now I got some paperwork signed that I was supposed to get signed, but I needed to get signed. And that was a whole nother thing over here where I needed this paperwork to be signed for the facility. The nurse took the paperwork, was like, yeah, I'm gonna have the doctor sign. And they were like, yeah, the doctor comes in the morning and he'll do this. He comes super early in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning. He leaves like about 10. They were like, he comes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Like he has an odd schedule. And then when I came back yesterday, they were like, yeah, we don't have the paperwork. I'm like, what you mean, bro? I gotta send this out. They're like, yeah, well, we don't know if he signed it. I was like, you don't know if he signed it? Like, what? So, and then I called this morning. Like, they were like, yeah, you got to find out. It's a whole long thing. I'm not going to give all the details. I called this morning, talked to the one who took the paperwork. She was like, yeah, I signed it, but I got patience. I got this. She was like chewing me out. And I'm like, the old Marcel would have just went in on her. Like, I straight up would have tore her a new one for speaking to me with that tone, right? I'm not saying I deserve any tone, but it's like, I'm going to treat you right when we speak on the phone or we speak in person. I expect the same. But she came at me the wrong way, and I wanted to flip out. But legit, God and Jesus like, yo, that's not you anymore. That's not you anymore. And I was like, I held my tongue. I was like, I understand, thankful and everything. Then when I got to the facility, I had the paperwork. They gave it to me and everything. So I'm grateful. It was a non-issue, right? It was a non-issue. So I'm solid with that. And now I just got to, finish here. I'll come back tomorrow to see them, and I'll go home. But right now I got to go shopping. I got to go get a ton of stuff for the house before I go. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to take you guys along shopping with me. So deal with it. See you in a bit.